out here is there's a uniqueness to doing your budget as a cash flow budget instead of just as a straight budget. A piece of paper where you write it down and look at it and realize that there's not enough money coming in to cover what I need, and it gets you upset, it gets you a little further depressed, you ball it up and you throw it into a wastebasket. Let me stop here just for a second. What I want us each to really understand is that no matter what happened yesterday, if you are ready to and you make up your mind, you can change your circumstances. You can change your circumstances. But it is your choice, and you are the only one that is able to make that choice to change your circumstances. And let me tell you, some of your circumstances, some of our circumstances are unbelievably bad. I use myself as an example. For those of you that have been following my show from the beginning, I've had some severe financial difficulties. I mean, really severe. I've carried a terminal illness called multiple myeloma for going on 17 years. And I got to tell you right now, cancer ain't cheap. I owned a marina back in 2001 to 2008, and it was a very successful marina. I had health insurance, but when I had my cancer diagnosis, and I sold my marina because I needed to make sure that my estate was going to get full benefit of the value of the marina if I were to die. And I didn't have a buy-sell agreement at the time, so I didn't have a lot of choice. I tried to negotiate a buy-sell agreement, which meant that my partner and I could make sure that if one of us died, the company would buy out the estate so that they could have the value of the company back to the family of the deceased. I didn't have that in place. I tried, but I couldn't get it in place. And so I had no choice but to try to sell my share while I was alive. And when I did, my health insurance a couple months later went from $800 a month to $2,700 a month. That's roughly $32,000 a year. And when I was back out starting over with building another business, $32,000 for health insurance will bankrupt someone. If it wasn't for knowing how to pay very, very close attention to what my upcoming needs were going to be and monitor my money very, very carefully, give myself a lot of advance notice as to what was going to be coming down the road, I could not have survived my financial crisis. So what I want to talk about now is the difference between a regular budget and what a cash flow budget is, and then give you some pointers on how to develop your own cash flow budget. So let me start off like this. If an example that I've made up, which is a very simple example, like I said, you may be driving, you may not be able to write this down. Let's say that you make, in a 4-week period, which we'll call a month, $1,700 a month after taxes are taken out. So $425 a week. Let's say you get paid weekly. So every week you get $425. For those of you that are interested, I have this laid out on a spreadsheet, and I'll be glad to give it to anybody that requests it. Go to the website, register, contact me, and I'll send it to you. So you have $1,700 a month. So if you were doing a regular budget, you're going to have $1,700 as your income. It's going to be a simple example. Just to keep it very simple, in this example, your expenses are $1,200. You have $500 more coming in than goes out. So on paper, hey, that's beautiful. That's what we all want. That's called positive cash flow. When the money that comes in is more than the money that goes out, we call that positive cash flow. Okay, now, in this example, you're going to be spending $800 a month rent, $100 a month for utilities, and $75 a week or $300 a month for food. Again, this is just a very, very simple example. So you get in $1,700, you got to spend $800 for rent, $100 for utilities, and $300 for food. So, hey, you know that you got $500 extra. Well, be careful before you go spend a dime of that $500. And here's why. The money does not come in all at one time. It comes in over a 4-week period. Okay. If your rent is due on the 1st of the month, if you put this down in a cash flow format, in a weekly format instead of a monthly format, in week 1, you only get $425 coming in, but you need to spend $800 for rent. And the way I have it set up, you also have to pay your utilities in week 1, and you want to eat that week. So in week 1, you have $975 of cash out. Your money needs to be spent, $975, but you only have $425 coming in. You're short $550. It doesn't matter the exact amounts here. What I just illustrated is that even though if you look at this on a monthly basis, you got a lot of money extra. You could go to the movies, buy some clothes, do whatever you want to do. But it's how you time your spending that's important. If you spend any money before you pay your rent, which you can't even do the first week, you're going to have it harder to meet your obligation, and you're going to start off not paying your rent on time and avoiding your landlord or whoever you might be in contact with. What I'm getting at is this. If you don't have enough money coming in but to meet what you have going out, you can't pay what you're supposed to. So you're going to have to wait till the following week to get some more money in. But even in that example, you still won't have enough. You'll have $850 based on $425 a week, but you were supposed to spend $975 the first week plus another $75 for food the second week. So you only have $850 to cover $1,050. So you still can't even pay your rent and utilities in full by the end of the second week. So what I'm trying to encourage you to understand here is this. If you learn how to look at your money as it comes in and goes out and understand the flow of your money, you will have a much, much better handle on what you can and can't do to spend your money. And you will start to focus on your money. And you will start to make better decisions on not buying things that you really shouldn't buy. I want to go back to an earlier show that I had where I talked about my seminar on personal finance and small business ownership. When I gave the story about Reuben Campbell and how I developed this secret to money that I taught Reuben, which is the secret to personal finances. I think it's page 23 of my seminar on personal finance and small business ownership that's on the website. The secret to personal finance is knowing, K-N-O-W-I-N-G, exactly how much money is in your pocket belongs to you and how much is already obligated that's not really yours. When you learn how to trace your money in and out of your life, and you know what's already been obligated or how short you're going to be, so that you can maybe figure out a way to cut some expenses or get some more money coming in, you will start to handle your money far wiser, make better decisions, and eventually, when you get good at the process, you'll start to understand how to get ahead and stay ahead. Now, let me interject this to you. In the example that I'm giving you, where your money comes in slower than it's supposed to go out to pay your rent, your utilities, and buy your food under this example, the quickest advice or the quickest solution that I want to give you is this. You need to have savings in your life. You need to have some reserves. If you're living at home and you're thinking about moving out and you just got a new job, and like Johnny, you just got a new job, don't move out too quick, because the difference in how your life is going to move forward with pressure and stress, if you take an extra month or so and have some savings, some people call savings a nest egg. If you have savings, you will be able to put the money that comes in that first week, add it to the balance that you already have in your savings or your bank account, and you'll be able to pay your bills on time. You'll be able to pay your rent, your utilities, and eat that week because it was your own money already in your pocket, so to speak, that you used to add your new paycheck to so that you could pay your bills. Now let's talk about something here. I've said in an earlier episode on credit and the importance of credit that you need to pay your bills on time. And what the secret to credit is isn't about money. It's honoring your good name. And when you honor your good name, you will pay your bills on time. You will pay people that you owe money to. So what I'm trying to show you here is really a lifestyle to where you take responsibility for what you do. You get information. Hey, we are living in the data age, the age of information. When you can see on paper how your money is going to be coming in and going out over a future period of time, like 6 months, it will identify when you better not spend any money, because if you do, you're not going to have it to pay a bill that was due on a certain date. This is taking responsibility. It's making better decisions. So what I wanted to tell you is that if you have savings and you add that to the money that's coming in, it'll keep your credit better. It'll keep you doing what you say you're going to do. It'll take away a lot of stress, and you'll get on top of your life and things will get easier. Now, let me introduce something to you. When I told you at Achievable Dream Academy that I give them these 8 questions on things that an adult that's going to be taking responsibility ought to really be able to do, I don't go back into financial things for a couple months. I mean, I tell a lot of stories and anecdotes that relate to money, but let me tell you what the next lesson is. My next topic that I follow up with when I expose that there's a lot of things out there that you need to learn about money, my next topic is, what is your definition of success, and what are 3 of your goals in life? I'm starting to teach the kids that it takes money to live. One of my favorite little things that I like to say is, hey, I didn't make the rules, but I can absolutely guarantee you that it takes money to live. If you want a roof over your head, it takes money. If you want food in your belly, it takes money. If you want a car, it takes money. If you want gas in that car, it takes money, and so on. And so what I'm going to tell you is the world is full of amazing people that are teachers, motivational speakers, just wonderful people that can encourage you to think in the right way. But my little contribution to the equation is this. I want to give you a tool